Good evening. Welcome to this week's edition of StormCast. We're going to be talking about Winter Storm Stella tonight, which is going to be moving through. It's already moved through parts of the Midwest and going to be moving through the Northeast. We have a great panel with us tonight. We actually have our affiliates from Echo Top Storm Chasers with us tonight, Joey Moreno and Brandon from up in Millersville, Pennsylvania. We got Dan from up in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, Christy from just near Dan over in Janesville, Wisconsin, and Steven is up in Great Falls, Montana. And I'm your host, Joey Pisani from EWV headquarters here in nice and cold and not snowy Atlanta, Georgia. So, Brandon, Joey, kind of tell us what you guys have been looking at there in the Millersville Meteorology Forecast Center.
Good. All right. So we just recently got off of our live broadcast on Echo Top. We were discussing what's currently happening, and currently we just had some precipitation fill in Maryland and the Delmarva area, and we're actually getting some heavy. We're starting to get some heavy snow here at Millersville. Visibility is decreasing as we speak, and then some of it actually is sticking to the surfaces. The roads are actually getting a little bit of a covering, and so are stuff on the weather deck. But we looked at each model. We looked at each model run specifically to see what we liked, what we disliked, and we put a snow map together. And much of what we see for the Susquehanna Valley, parts of Long Island, New York, and into the New England, we could see some spots get up to about between 1 foot to 2 feet. If you're in a higher elevation, you can see closer to 2 feet. But it's gonna, right now, it's just starting to fill in, and we are actually getting some good snow to cover the ground right now.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So are you guys there at the campus right now still?
We are, yes.
Yeah, we were in one of the classrooms actually next to the weather center.
Awesome. So there at Millersville, what's your guys' estimated snowfall total there in southeast Pennsylvania?
I mean, it varies from person to person, but we all kind of came in on a consensus of around a foot. So 1 foot to about 16 inches. Yeah,
around
12 to 16. All right. Awesome. And I know you mentioned Long Island. I actually have a friend of mine that's over on Long Island. And not only are we looking at the snow impacts, but places along the coast, we're going to be probably seeing some coastal flooding. And we're also going to be seeing some very strong winds. So, I mean, there you also have to factor that in as well.
Yeah.
So definitely a triple threat here, especially along the coast with those blizzard warnings that go through tomorrow.
Yeah, like I have my grandparents who live in the middle of Long Island, and we just told them specifically, if you're near Montauk, near the far east side of Long Island, you can see less accumulation, but the winds will be like up to blizzard conditions. But if you move towards New York City, snow accumulation will be a little bit higher, and you'll still see some blizzard conditions. Most of Long Island is under a blizzard warning as we speak, so there's a lot of factors, especially with the surface low moving like right near the coast.
Yeah, and can you talk to our viewers about this? Because some people have been asking, why are places like Boston and eastern Long Island there right along the coast not under that blizzard warning? They're just under the winter storm warning, whereas a little bit further inland, we're seeing some of those blizzard warnings. What meteorologically, are they saying that, we're not going to issue a blizzard warning for the coastal regions, but more for inland?
I mean, it goes hand in hand with the rain snow line where that sets up. And that's been definitely a factor that we've had to look at over the past several days. Where's that rain snow line going to mix in? Where are you going to have that located? And that's definitely going to affect your snowfall amounts. Like I'm looking at the current watches and warnings right now. And right down by Atlantic City, Philadelphia, they're underneath a winter storm warning. But over in Berks County and over just to the west of Philadelphia, you've got blizzard warnings. And to the north of Philadelphia as well, by Trenton, Newark, Morristown, Allentown, Reading even. Everyone there is underneath a blizzard warning. I actually wouldn't be surprised if the whole Susquehanna Valley goes underneath a blizzard warning issued by the NWS State College here shortly. But to get back to your question, one of the, like I said, it's the rain snow line, and that's primarily the reason why they don't have a blizzard warning.
Excellent. Yeah, because a lot of people I know were wondering that, places like Boston and stuff like that typically, you would see, and that could change, obviously as we go through the night into tomorrow. we could see, like you said, some of those blizzard warnings maybe extended or adjusted east or west. So awesome, guys. Awesome. Well, definitely stay safe up there and enjoy the snow for us, for folks like us down here in Atlanta that we're not getting snow. All we've gotten is some very, very cold rain. But up next, I want to talk to Dan here. He's actually in eastern Wisconsin, just south of Milwaukee. So he's kind of already seen this system really begin to move through. So Dan, tell us about some of the impacts that you've seen and what you're looking to see through tonight and tomorrow.
Well, it varies greatly by where exactly you are in Wisconsin. Right along the lakeshore, along Lake Michigan, you're going to be seeing significantly more snow, and you're going to be seeing anticipated significantly more snow due to the east winds coming off of the lake. Going to be seeing a lot of lake effect snow move into the area there. Joey, I think you have a graphic that was put out shortly, not that long ago, by the Milwaukee Sullivan National Weather Service, and that's showing how much snow has fallen. Now, this is from 3 o'clock p.m. up through 7 o'clock p.m. This is Central Time.
Yeah, so that's the graphic right there.
Yeah, you can see right against the can't get my thing to go away there. Right against the lake there, Milwaukee County, Ozaukee County, slightly west of that, that would be Washington County, and then Waukesha County is ranging between 7 and 9.5, 9.6 inches of snow. And then you move just slightly west there, over another couple of counties, and then it quickly drops off. Around my area, we've seen maybe 4 inches so far. So definitely a big difference there. They have issued a lake effect snow warning that's going to be in effect until 1 o'clock p.m. Tuesday. This is Central Time. And there was here's the other graphic you had sent me. Yeah.
So this is the observed total that we're looking at.
Yeah. So you can now the anticipated. This is the snow totals that are expected through 7 o'clock p.m. tomorrow. And over by where I'm at, close to the Illinois border, we've seen probably about as much as we're going to get out of the storm. We might pick up another inch or two maybe through the overnight. But as you can see, those oranges, as you move east, it very quickly goes up from there. Milwaukee, Racine, looking at 16 inches. Down by Kenosha along the Illinois border, they're 15 inches. And that's all due to the winds coming off of the lake. That's that lake effect snow that they've issued that lake effect snow warning for.
Yep.
So depending on where you are in Wisconsin, if you're watching this from Wisconsin, could be some very different weather depending on exactly where you are.
Yeah, it's all really gonna like you said, it's all really gonna depend where that exact lake effect snow band sets up. And similar situation there in the Northeast, where we see some of those heavier snow bands set up, is where we could get some of the higher totals across those areas. So, Krista, you're not too far from where Dan's at. So, what's the weather been like there in Janesville?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
All right, I just turned my mute off. The weather's the same, of course. There's not much difference, except for there's a lot of blowing wind, which is just making it harder to for people when they're driving. So they have to really be careful when they're driving on the roads, especially on some of the roads that are just so bad. I'm in Janesville, Wisconsin. Some of the roads are cleared off inside the city, but when you go in between the city of Janesville and Beloit, you have to be careful, especially on probably County Highway G, because there's a lot of blowover snow and stuff like that. But anyway,
have you seen a lot of accidents around your area?
Not around here. Of course, I didn't ask my friend who listens to a scanner, so I didn't ask him if there was. I'm pretty sure there might have been, because we haven't had a snowfall here since December.
Yeah, I mean, and that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
For Wisconsin.
Yeah. And I was picking on Arkansas because they got a snowfall and we didn't, and they got it right after like their tornado weather, which is just so radical. I mean, it was so odd. And you know how it is when Arkansas gets snow. Oh my God, look at the snowflakes. And they take pictures of everything and put it all on Twitter. and us Wisconsinites are like, yeah, okay, well, you can keep it down there for a little while, but then again, the farmers need it up here in Wisconsin, so we need it so bad.
Yeah, I mean, Dan was talking, I think it was on one of our last Stormcasts about when it was, what, like 70, 68, 70 degrees up there? You had like 3 or 4
That's right. That's right. We broke several records. In fact, that was the first time ever anywhere in Wisconsin reached a mark of 70 degrees in the month of February.
Yeah, I remember talking about that. So, Brandon, Joe, you guys still with us?
Yes,
yeah,
we're
are here. Yep.
Wanted to get to talk to you guys about, what your thoughts are on going from having tornadoes in Minnesota one week to what we're seeing this coming weekend. I mean, the rapid weather change. I mean,
we actually just had a
middle of March
tornado. We actually just had a tornado over in York, which is 20 minutes from us. I personally was not expecting anything to tornadic wise to come about, but they put the tornado warning on that cell, and what do you know, it produced a EF1, and then a couple days later we turn around, get our first not first, but one of the first snows of this winter up in our area.
Yeah.
And then now we have this coming for us, and we're actually from what I'm seeing, we're getting more into an active pattern, which means we can see more storms coming up the coast, and well, not the coast, but throughout the United States. So,
and also to point out, with one of the news stations that I had an internship with, they had a fact for our area that this winter was going to be the worst winter on record as far as snowfall totals. We were at 5.5 inches before this snowstorm was seen by models. So the record will not be broken this year. Depends on how much snow we get, but we're definitely gonna get some snow out of this system, and it's gonna bump our snowfall totals for the winter. But if this system never happened, we would have been on one of the worst winters on record.
Yeah, I mean, I was the one to. You mentioned the models. Kind of what was it that it seemed like a lot of people were maybe caught by surprise that the severity of this event, it wasn't really picked up by the models really early on. It wasn't really till the last couple of days that we really started seeing, what the potential impacts of this could be, compared to sometimes we may see, potential significant snowstorm a week out, but with this one, it's really been just the past couple of days.
Yeah, it's because of that Miller B type situation where you have that low coming in from Canada, and you have another low in the Gulf that more or less transfers energy. In this case, over the Carolinas, those are very hard to model in the first place, especially that far out. But as time gets closer, you can easily model them. Placement wise, not so much, because there were a lot of factors we had to look at for this specific storm. Yeah,
and I mean, what is the role of obviously models go into also climatology side of things, and climatologically speaking, how common is having this significant of a snow event at this time of year?
Well, in the past 90 years, Millersville, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, had only 4 12-inch storms in March. So it is actually fairly uncommon to have something like this come about.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, definitely something that we'll be keeping an eye on. And if you guys get any video, just feel free to send our way. We'll share it on our page and stuff like that. And stay warm. Keep the fireplace handy and all that stuff. Keep the hot chocolate flowing.
Oh yeah.
We got people staying in the weather center overnight because it's going to be a very busy night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So are you guys doing a lot of reporting there, like for Millersville University, and working with your local TV station at all, or not really?
Oh. Yeah, well, we have one of our chasers, Ethan. He has an internship with the local news station WGAL, so he's going to be heading there around 11 o'clock and then he's going to be helping them with the media and stuff, like do the graphics. And then in the morning, well, I'm going there at midnight because by the time they want me in at 8 a.m., visibility is going to be completely near like a quarter of a mile, heavy snow, and the winds it's going to be very dangerous to drive out there. So I'm heading in a little early tonight, probably around midnight, so that I can, be of assistance to Ethan if they want me to, or I can stay there, get a nice nap, and then wake up around 8 o'clock to help them out.
Sounds awesome, man. Well, definitely have fun. Definitely have fun. I mean, another thing I wanted to talk about, and Dan or anyone really can comment on this. I mean, what are we thinking power outages wise with the system? Do you think we're going to see a lot of widespread power outages across the Northeast? Let's think about that too.
I mean, it's definitely not out of the question that, we're going to see power outages. It's just a matter of where we're going to see those power outages.
Yeah.
So,
especially where also a good thing to think about is the heavy snow or the wet snow versus the dry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you have wet snow in the area, there can be definitely some power outages if it accumulates and, forces some wires to become heavy enough to snap and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with this, we're not really expecting to see really too much of an icing event from what it seems.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I mean,
There'll
because
be some mixing, but not a significant ice event.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's definitely good news. But also, on the other side, I'm not sure if you guys saw this earlier, but it was probably no more than an hour and a half ago. There was actually a tornado warning down near Sarasota, Florida.
No way.
I mean,
Yes.
Oh yes, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I haven't seen a report, but I mean, I was looking at that on the radar and looking at some of the velocities when it was offshore. I'm like, man, I don't want to go water spout chasing right now here,
Man, I would love to. I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah, I used to be down in the Clearwater, Florida area, and they actually had a really good water spout over the summer when I wasn't there. So I was like, the one time I'm not there, they have a really good water spout.
Yeah, that's how it normally plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Steven, you with us from up there in Montana, my friend?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So, I mean, have you seen what's the situation been like up in the Northwest? I mean, is it still pretty cold, or are you seeing rising temperatures?
We're starting to see rising temperatures up in the 50s and 60s up here. Today was nice and left a lot of snow, which is great.
That is awesome. I would love to have some 50s and 60s back. We're down to the 30s, and it's just going to get colder over the next couple of days. Here, I mean, I think Thursday morning we're supposed to wake up to a morning temperature of about 25 degrees, which is pretty cold for this type of year. I've lived here in Atlanta for just about a little over 8 years. And I can never recall any time in the month of March it being 25 degrees. February, yes, many times, but this late in March, typically I'm usually good to 50 to 60. So, Jesse, welcome. Glad you were able to join us. So, Jesse.
Hello, Jesse.
Another one of our admins. She is from out in Cedar Rapids, Iowa area. So, Jesse, tell us about what you've seen with Winter Storm Stella out there in Iowa.
Well, we had about 5 inches of snow here in Cedar Rapids. Some areas north of me got a little higher. I think they had like 9 inches up by the Iowa-Minnesota border.
Wow, that's pretty good. Pretty good amount there. Are you? Is the snow kind of done where you're at now? It's kind of all moved off. Are you expecting any more? Or no.
Nope, we're all done.
Awesome. Well, I'm not getting any. I mean, I would have loved to have gotten at least maybe a flurry. They had
I could throw you some if you'd like.
They had little weather advisories for like the Northeast Georgia mountains, but that was about it.
I got something here I'll share with everybody here real quick. going to share my screen here. This is just off a radar scope here. You can see the precipitation moving in from off the lake. As you can see, it's moving from right to left, not left to right like we normally see. And so here it's moving kind of pretty much from northeast to southwest as it pushes across. And then as it gets about 1 county to 2 counties away from the lake, it just kind of dissipates. And that's exactly what that lake effect snow is doing. So those counties right up against the lake, that right there, as they would say, is your problem.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, for those of you that may not know, I actually used to live near Buffalo, New York. And we were like one of the king of lake effect snows. I was there back in, I think it was 95 or 96, when we had one of the largest snowstorms on record. We had about 88.3 inches of snow fall over about a 3-day period. Opened up the garage door, couldn't see daylight. People were sledding off their roofs. It was pretty epic, especially as a kid. I think I was like 6 or 7 years old at the time.
That's right. And that's one of those times where driving at night is actually easier, because if you're from the South, Joey, you're exception because, you're not originally from down there, but you can get so much snow where it's piled up so high that you can't see all the way across the intersection because the snow is up so high. And it helps at night because you see the headlights of the other car first before you actually see the car. It's weird.
That is true. That is true. Not only are we talking snow, but we also have a large swath also of freeze warnings that are in effect for much of the center of the country. So a lot of Missouri, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, West Ohio, basically the entire state of Kentucky, central and eastern Tennessee, most of Alabama, they're all under a freeze warning. Typically it's been kind of crazy. Like here in the southeast, we were actually starting to see some of our trees and plants really beginning to bloom. The pollen was starting to come out, and now we're going to be dropping it down. So I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to affect the trees and whether they're going to lose their leaves and kind of have to regrow them, or how that's all going to work out. Also expecting some pretty windy conditions here tomorrow. They actually have basically all of north and central Georgia under a wind advisory for tomorrow for 25 to 35 mile an hour winds with some higher gusts possible. So that will definitely be interesting. But
and taking a look at the sorry, Joey.
Go ahead. I was saying once we transition away from the snow, I wanted to kind of get especially Joey and Brandon's take on this. How quickly are we looking at maybe seeing severe weather return? I mean, it looks like it's going to be pretty quiet. That high pressure is going to dominate for a couple of days.
Yeah. Like you said, that high pressure is going to move in from the Ohio Valley, but we do have another sign of winter sticking around here, because the models have been showing a small clipper coming through this weekend. So it looks like winter is here to stay for a little bit longer in the month of March.
So when it was Groundhog Day and everyone said, "Oh no, there's not going to be 6 more weeks of winter," I mean, now, maybe the groundhog was actually right this time.
Maybe.
I just remember hearing all this stuff about, oh no, there's no way there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. We're having all these record high temperatures, and everyone's like, oh, March temperature outlook above average for like the eastern 2/3 of the country the entire month. That hasn't really quite panned out.
Hasn't played out very well.
Yeah, and earlier today, actually, the SPC had like a little tee box over Susquehanna Valley and the Poconos.
It was a general
thunderstorm box. Yeah. They had it over the Susquehanna Valley and the Poconos here, indicating the potential for some thunder snow with this event that's rolling through. They have taken it off recently, but we'll still see some thunder snow with this event moving through, even with the deformation bands.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thunder snow is so awesome.
Definitely. Try and get some video of that, and definitely try and be as excited, if not more excited, than Jim Cantori and you just might
Yeah,
land.
yeah.
You just might land yourself a job.
Yeah,
No.
in 2013, actually, my first summer or my first year here at Millersville, the winter, there was one snowstorm that thunder snow happened right behind one of the dorms here on campus, and we actually got to see. Me and my friends were walking back from getting something to eat, and we saw the bolt. Actually, the bolt was right behind the one of the dorms. So that was a great experience. If we can see that tonight, that'd be cool.
That would definitely be awesome. Well, when you head out around midnight, definitely be safe out there on the roadways.
I think we're just camping here. In all
Yeah.
honesty, I mean we're basically in the prime spot for Pennsylvania. That is, as far as snowfall rates, in my opinion. Obviously the Poconos are going to get hit pretty hard as well. Up there, just to the north of New York. I actually don't know what's in the southeastern part of New York. Connecticut, Boston, obviously.
Well, you
but I
got
think we're in a
Scranton,
good
PA up there, which is one of those areas that could see a good amount of snow. And then Burlington, I think Burlington, New York, that area, not Burlington, Binghamton. That's in southeast New York. They could get some good snow too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, and especially since I'm from the Poconos, I'm about an hour south of Scranton and Wilkes-Barre, and my sister's school already is closed tomorrow, and they already talked about closing on Wednesday. So a lot of school cancellations are already in place to make sure that there's as much safety out there as possible.
Yeah, and that's another thing to think about too with these type of things. We've got school closings. We've had over 50. I think Jesse, what was it? 5,300 flights canceled. Or do you have an update on that number?
I believe it was 5,300.
5,300 so far. So I mean, this is definitely having some pretty big impacts across the area. I have a friend that lives in the Waterbury, Connecticut area, so I'm sure she's gonna be enjoying the blizzard over there in Connecticut.
Gonna be a fun one.
Yeah. But I definitely want to thank you guys for joining us for StormCast here. And thanks to all of our viewers. If you haven't, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Give us a subscribe. We do StormCast every Monday night around 9:30 Eastern, 10 o'clock on a night like tonight. So definitely want to thank you guys for joining us. And for all the latest weather information, be sure to check out our website, extremeweathervideos.com. Also, echotopstormchasers.com as well. Follow their live feeds and stuff like that. And we'll definitely be tracking you guys over the next couple days. Dan, stay warm up there in Wisconsin. Christy, great to have you with us tonight. Really appreciate you joining us. And Jesse and Steven, as always, great to have you along with us. From all of us here at Extreme Weather Videos, I'm your host, Joey Psiani, saying so long and have a great night and stay warm and enjoy this winter storm and experience the extreme of extreme weather videos.